Holy cow! XRP is on a massive pump. Should I sell it? Hey, what's up, gang? Carlton Flowers here, your crypto pro, and we've got to talk about XRP. This is one I haven't done a video on in a long time, but as we can see, the price is pumping, and I'm watching it ticking down from this peak. It's now sitting and teetering just below 42 cents. So my question is, should I sell it? What do you think I should do? Now, I know what most people's reaction would be, or the answer to that question, if you're part of the XRP army. Most people would say, you gotta be crazy if you sell this thing right now, because XRP is gonna be $10,000 per token. You're gonna get yourself wrecked. Well, I have held XRP for a while. I've traded it back in 2018 at a loss. And then I picked it up again at the wrong point. I bought in too early. I think it was around 35 cents. And then I did a DCA, dollar cost average. I bought in again at 25 cents to bring my average to 30 cents. So let's look at some scenarios of what would happen if I sell it and why I would sell. All right, get rid of that. Here we are on the 4-hour chart. Now, whenever we see action like this happen on any cryptocurrency, you know that a correction is going to be coming. It has to happen because you can't go parabolic and just continue up from that point and not have a correction. When I see this kind of action where you get to the point that your token has gone vertical as it is right now, okay, you know it's got to come back down, and it's probably gonna float back down towards the 50-day or the 200-day EMA. At worst case, I'm thinking 50-day EMA is very possible here, but we just crossed on this critical ring here on the fib circles. We are now right on the 4.236. Now we know from the past that these fib circle ring boundaries represent points where the price can pivot. Notice how the price is right at the line as far as the top of the 4-hour candle. The wick goes above and it got snatched right back down to the fib boundary. So I'm thinking that momentum is slightly headed down. When we look at the 4-hour chart, I'm sorry, I was on the 1-day chart, but it's just about the same here on the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, we can get a little bit better close up of a view of the parabolic move. And so when you make a parabola, not a parabolic line, we kind of do this, and then all of a sudden we go vertical until we're headed straight up. You can already see here that on this 4-hour chart, it looks like we are coming back down off of the top of the parabolic move. And I need to hurry up and finish this video because I'm thinking I need to sell right now. But the reason why I would sell if I do is because price is going to correct, and we're going to probably settle back down to this ring, or we could come on back down to where the 50-day EMA is. We also know that we have a correction coming from BTC. BNC, I don't know what that token is. Now, looking at the stochastic, we see that the %K has crossed over the %D. Fast line is now on the bottom side. We have a crossover. We've humped over. Not to say that it couldn't turn around and jump back up, because it's already done that twice. Okay, so when we jump over to the 1-day chart and look at the stochastic, it tells a different story where the %K is still above the D and they are diverging. So there could be another surge up. We might hit this ring up here and hit a target of 44 cents. Now, if that happens, so be it. If I sell, I'm probably not going to be sitting here watching this thing go up above that ring, because it has to come back down. What goes up must come down. So let's say that I sell right here at this point where we're crossing this ring, and then price continues up after that point and we hit the next ring. Well, is that a big of a deal? Is that a big deal? No, it's not. And I'll tell you why. We're going to correct. at some point. So let's say it corrects here and we come back down to this ring, or we come all the way back down to the 50-day EMA. Correction is coming, all right? It's going to gather its strength, and corrections are healthy because it makes the next move even stronger. So let's say, for instance, we correct down to here, and then let's say the price movement does something like this. It hits on that next move up. If I get another bag right down here, somewhere in this zone, and then I'm riding this from that point on upward as we move up, whatever I left on the table here in this area right here is insignificant, because we see that I'm gaining that back as soon as we move above that point that I sold. So really there's nothing to lose. So I end up with more coins, or I could just say keep the spare cash and invest the same amount, and then have cash left over to put into another trade, and then I ride this on up. So this will work no matter what, because if the price continues up from here even higher, it's still got to correct at some point. So let's say if it just corrects down to here, and then this is the point that I buy back in, like right here. So let's say I get a bag. Let me make a circle somewhere in oops, that's not a circle. Let's try this again. Let's say I buy back in at this point. Once I start to ride the train from this point up, we see again, I have still encompassed the area that I left on the table before, which would be all of this area right here. So I'm going to end up with more money or a fatter bag, and then eating up whatever I left on the table, and I'm still looking good in the long run. So I'm thinking right now, maybe it's time to take some profits, because I'm in this to make money. I'm in this to increase my income and increase my bags. My strategy is not to hodl for the long run and wait until the absolute peak, because nobody can call the absolute peak. Furthermore, I would like to have the biggest bag possible by the time we get to the peak of the bull market. And thus far, it's worked pretty good. But even if I never bought back into this project, let's say I just leave it alone, there's going to be other projects that might have a 50x to 100x gain, where XRP might be looking at a 5-bagger between now and the next few months, or even by, say, spring or summer, a 10x. I should be able to make a bigger gain than that somewhere else in the alt market other than here. So as long as I'm constantly making a profit and moving my funds around, it really shouldn't matter where I jump out or if I ever jump back in. XRP has been one of the most frustrating and painful investments that I've made in crypto. It's been a long trip. There's a lot of pain and suffering along the way, and people that have been sitting, waiting a long time for the big move to happen. So this will ease my pain if I go ahead and unload and maybe throw this into Ethereum for the time being, which I know is looking pretty strong. So the minute BTC finally takes its break, if it does, I may just push this into Ethereum, which is a safe bet. What are your thoughts about XRP? What do you think the immediate short-term price target is, and when do you see a correction happening? I'd love to hear it. Share that in the comments below, and we'll see you on the next update. I'll keep you posted as the action develops. I'm out.